Hey guys, welcome to day 2 of the Chatbot Conference. Today's workshop is our very own Botcopy workshop. My name is Dustin Dye. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Botcopy, a Google Cloud partner focusing on the front-end web and mobile app solution for Google Cloud Dialogflow ES CX in Contact Center AI, which is coming soon, and I'll tell you all a little bit more later. In today's main stage, we're going to be building a chatbot from ground zero all the way up to intent, more advanced intent structures, where we're going to be capturing emails, sending webhooks to CRMs like SendGrid, and setting context on the agent. So if you are a user and we capture a name, maybe remember that next time when you come into the chocolate factory. Today's main stage is going to be ran by ours truly, Rob LeBeau, an award-winning copywriter, conversational designer, a marketing guru, and another co-founder here at Botcopy. So you're in great hands. I'll be in one of the satellite rooms. So if at any time we're going through a section that you might be a little more advanced or want to dive a little further into a particular intent flow or maybe webhook calls, you can find us in the satellite rooms. We're going to be getting pretty geeky. So we are thrilled to have you. Without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Rob. All right, have a great day.
Well, thank you, Dustin, and hello to everyone. As you look at this picture of me, you might be thinking, now wait a second, why is he wearing a black shirt? The answer is because I'm creative. Ooh, busted. Still wearing the black shirt though. Welcome to the AI Developer Workshop. Let's skip the nonsense and talk brass tacks, like what can you expect from the day? But first, turn that music off. Thank you, that was brutal. So for the first part of the day, you'll watch a video and build a bot from scratch, step by step. You can pause the video so that you can execute these steps at your own pace, and then you can continue the video all the way through the end until you have a finished bot. Now at that point, you might want to jump into one of our breakout rooms. Keep in mind, you can go to these breakout rooms. Let's say you've got the hang of the basics and you just want to skip right to the hard stuff. For most of you, you'll be better off if you go into one of these breakout rooms having finished the foundation of your bot, even if it's just a starter practice bot. All right, let's begin. Let's take a look at the finished version of the bot you'll be building. It's a Willy bot from Willy Wonka, and users can view products, see hours, book factory tours, and request handoff to an Oompa Loompa. So let's open it up and click on Tours. You're going to be working with rich media components, basic cards with images, integrations with a third-party calendar app, and also programming some natural language understanding into your bot. As you build out your Google Dialogflow agent, you'll get hands-on experience programming a range of rich media like carousels, buttons, lists, suggestion chips, and simple responses. The workshop is designed to get you acquainted with the basics of building your backend in Dialogflow. I'll walk you through setting up your free account if you don't have one yet and connecting it to a free Botcopy account to work on your bot's front end. It's simple to get your accounts synced up, and you'll get a sense of how easy it is to skin a Dialogflow agent using Botcopy's branding tools. Now is a good time to set up your accounts if you haven't already. You're going to need a Gmail address, so make sure you have one. Head over to Google Cloud to set up your GCP account and find your way to Dialogflow's welcome page. Select Dialogflow ES, then go to the Dialogflow ES console. You're in. Click Create Agent and give your agent a name. Now go to botcopy.com and click Get Started Free, and sign up using the same Gmail address you used to set up your Dialogflow agent. After you click through some onboarding forms and tutorials, you'll be able to click on Add a Bot and select Dialogflow ES. Add a few details, and there's your bot. Click into it, and you can easily connect your Dialogflow agent into your Botcopy account and gain access to the branding section to design the front end. That's it. You have your account set up. You're officially an AI genius. No, we're not done yet. Next step, add pre-built agent. So here's what you're going to do. Go back to your Dialogflow agent, click on the little gear icon, then click on Export and Import. Restore from zip, select File, find and select the pre-built agent zip that we posted for you, type restore, and click done. Great, we've overwritten the original agent. Click on Intents in the left sidebar to see the pre-built structure we designed to give you a bit of a head start. Now go back to your Botcopy dashboard and click into your branding portal. You can see that your bot is connected to the pre-built agent you just added. It might be a little different, but it'll look something like that. Now open it up and you'll see that it has some internal structure, but to transform this into a plausibly decent Wonka chocolate factory bot, we have a lot of work to do. So let's clear the history and close the chat window. That way the prompt with the suggestion chips will show up again, and we can start modifying the look and feel of the greeter prompt. So as you can see, we have greeter images and chat window color schemes that you can use in a pinch, but let's go with a more custom feel for Willie. Click on Upload Image and find the greeter and avatar image in the project folder. Once the image is uploaded, set the greeter image size to large. It's filling the space nicely. Having a branded greeter image that pops can make a big difference. Now let's add the same image for the avatar inside the chat window. So what should we attack next? Well, obviously the colors need work. After all, this is a candy-related bot, so maybe we should use some bright candy-esque colors. Let's change the prompt fill color to D14473. I like that fill color, but the low contrast for the text makes it not so easy to read. So let's change the prompt font color to FFF and make it white. Much better. For prompt border color, let's use CC0101 and use that same bright red for the prompt border hover. But let's make the prompt hover fill color Foxtrot 4528 Charlie. As you can see, this process can get kind of picky, but remind yourself that in most cases, you only have to do it once. Okay, let's change prompt suggestion fill color, aka those little buttons, to a nice blue raspberry-ish 2 Delta Bravo, 2 Delta Epsilon. And let's change the prompt suggestion hover color to a crazy bright green 05 Alpha 802. I am absolutely beside myself with joy using this NATO military phonetic alphabet, I just have to say. It's highly recommended. I've never had the occasion to use it in my entire career, and I'm just really happy right now.
Yo, what's up? Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Tango, Foxtrot.
Yeah, so we're changing the header fill color to 2E9DC2, and let's just bullet through the rest of these. The bot response fill color to F4528C, and the user fill color to 05802, that same green, as well as the hover fill color, that same green. And there we have it. Oh, we have to close the bot and change the font to white. And change the buttons to that same blue, and then change the hover over the buttons to that same green. And I think that's it for colors. We can scroll down and configure some settings. So let's add that little greeter icon to the header. You can find that image in your project folder. And why don't we add a subtitle to the header just to make it feel even more branded? Welcome to the Wonka factory. Cool. So I'm not going to go through every single feature in the settings, but I'm going to take the font to Verdana. You don't have to do any coding for the front end in 99.9% of the cases. Let's bring that input bar to the more modern, simple style. And let's take that Botcopy logo element down to grayscale so that it doesn't compete with the other colors in the chat window. And you can even just remove that UI by Botcopy if you want. Although why would anyone want to do that? You can change the sizes, extra large, large, medium, small. You can play around with it. And there's even a full screen. We call it CUI mode. It's conversational user interface. So if that's activated, the bot will automatically by default open up as a full screen bot. But let's stick with large. That feels right for this. Every time you make a change in the setting, hit enter. That saves the change, and that's that green thing popping up at the bottom, letting you know it's saved. We haven't written any of the back end yet. Let's do a little animation for the greeter. Let's go with kablam. So clear the history and close the windows so we can see what that looks like. Kablam! But as you can see, the copy isn't written, and we haven't worked on the back end. So let's head on over to Dialogflow. We're going to work in Dialogflow ES. There's also a product called Dialogflow CX, which is outstanding. They're both great, and we can talk about the differences at another time. And I should also mention that the agent that I'm using is a little different than the pre-built that has been sent to you. I don't think that should cause too much confusion, but if it does, you can hit us up in one of the side rooms. Find the default welcome intent and click on it. Just scroll all the way to the bottom, and let's take a look at the simple response and suggestion chips. And we're going to overwrite this simple response. I'm going to put in, "Hi, I'm WillyBot, here to help you with everything Wonka. What would you like to know about first? Choose from below." Fix a little typo. Now in the suggestion chips, we're going to change these to products, hours, tours, and talk to an Oompa Loompa. So let's just save this welcome intent and head back over to Botcopy for 2 seconds just to see that the intent that you just programmed is working in the front end that you just built. How cool is that? Let's go back to Dialogflow. I want to make that "Hi, I'm WillyBot" bold. So adding 2 asterisks on each side will do that. And let's make another intent. So let's click on intents and head over to one of the FAQs. I'm going to go kind of fast now, but feel free to pause and get this stuff done at your own pace. We're going to add some training phrases for products. So that's like, products, what kind of products? Can I order something? What do you have? What do you sell? Can I see some candy? Just put 10 or 11 things like that, and then delete any training phrases that we had in the pre-built that aren't relevant to products. Click on Google Assistant response types and overwrite the simple response. Something like, "Take a ride on a carousel of candy," because we're going to be building a carousel. So if you click Add Responses, you're going to click on Carousel Card. And you're going to add another carousel card and another, and we're going to have like 6. And before I forget, the training phrases we added to products, they don't have to be comprehensive. The machine learning can kind of pick up on something that's like one of the training phrases. And with regard to the carousels, these image links are in the document in the project folder that was posted. These are Dropbox links to images, and you can paste them in where it says enter image URL. In order to work, the Dropbox links have to have DL in place of www. Then you're just going to need to fill out 3 of the fields. Enter accessibility text. If somebody can't see the picture, then the screen reader will read that. And then you also want to add the name of the item to the title and the option key. Now those are all in there. We're going to have some suggestion chips at the bottom, schedule a tour, talk to an Oompa, and let's save that. Let's see what that looks like in Botcopy. So hit products, and voila, you've got a carousel. Pretty sweet. And each of those pictures are clickable. Of course, they don't go anywhere yet. Emphasis on yet. So let's go back there and take a look. We're going to need to make a new intent for those clicks on that carousel. So hit the plus sign next to intent, and let's call this ordering, because if I were clicking on a chocolate bar in a carousel, I would assume that I'd be ordering it. So we're going to add all those products to this training phrase array: lollipops, spice drops, gummies. How do I order? That's our ordering intent. Chewies. And again, this is a starter bot. So we're not trying to create a huge e-commerce bot in one workshop, but it can certainly scale into that. Let's see how we're handling this. I see you have a sweet tooth. So somebody clicked on one of the products, and this is kind of like a catch-all answer. To purchase candy, please schedule a tour or talk with an Oompa Loompa. Oh, I see how they do it over at Wonka. They're trying to get you into the factory so they can mess with you. I saw that movie. So now let's see what happens when you click on one of those. Cool. I see you have a sweet tooth. To purchase candy, please. Okay, so somebody clicked on the carousel and it said, "Hey, we're trying to do some lead gen here. We want to talk to you." So if you made it this far, on behalf of Botcopy, we are very impressed. Can I just say how impressed I am with you? Look at what you're building. Carousels, AI, This is insane. This Google Dialogflow agent you're making is about to explode in fractal complexity, and you're cool as a cucumber. But of course, in many ways, we're just getting started. So click on another FAQ in your pre-built, and we're going to make a new, we're going to do tours. So this is to like learn about touring the factory, which I don't recommend unless you want to turn into a giant blueberry. But the training phrases, and some people are into that, I hear. I don't know why. See the factory, schedule a tour, I have a golden ticket, all that stuff. Anything that someone might say, but most people are just going to click tours. That's what most people do. But you will get people typing things in as well. That's why we do rich media and NLU, like the hybrid approach. So I'm happy to help with that. And then for this one, let's do a basic card. Let's show a nice picture of the Willy Wonka factory. So again, you're going to put your accessibility text, and then you're going to put a title, and those two asterisks on each side is going to make that Wonka factory bold, which is going to make the card look better. And you won't believe your eyes or your taste buds. Click below to schedule your tour. And I'm going to put a Calendly link in here. And this link, again, it's on the document that's included with your project folder. I set that calendar up earlier. So let's see what that looks like. Click on Tours. Wow, there's the Wonka factory. I want to set up a time to go there. Clicking on that. Whoa. So look, instead of setting up a time to go, talking back and forth, like, would you like to come on Monday? No. What day would you like to come? Like, it's too cumbersome. It's sometimes nice to just have a GUI, or as they say, a GUI. Since we're doing Candyland, I might as well say GUI. So there's Calendly right inside Botcopy. It's a web view. Just talk about integrations for a second. So when you're building your bot, you can integrate with all kinds of third parties. Part of this is because of Dialogflow being so versatile. On the front end, there's integrations as well. So a lot of room to scale your project. So let's do this next one in reverse. I want to show you the UX that's already been built, and then we'll go back and figure out how to reverse engineer it. So if you click Talk to an Oompa Loompa, it's going to ask for your name and your email. And then it's going to say, hey, they might be a while. Do you want us to email you back when we're ready? The user can say yes or no. In this case, yes. Okay, we'll email you shortly. So then the user can say, thanks, you're welcome, bye, take it easy. And then the user can rate the experience. Wow. So how did we build this? How do you build this? Well, let's build it together. So let's go into your pre-built, and we're going to call this live agent. You may already have it. Now, we're going to mess with contexts for the first time today. Add exactly what you see there. So you're going to put name, that lifespan number. It's very important to put that. Set it to 2. Try to add it exactly as you see it on the screen. Email too. Okay, now for training phrases, this is going to be a little bit of a mixed bag. We're going to be adding talk to an agent, talk to a person, can I speak to a live representative, talk to an Oompa Loompa, get help, all those things that might trigger a human handoff of some kind. But we're also adding names. And when you add Joe Smith, you want to make sure that this system entity is there, highlighting it in orange, or any color really. And that's going to come into play later. As you type in names, you can see that it'll automatically do that. Just a range of names to really give the machine learning a lot to triangulate. Now add some emails. So something@something.com, something@something.net, 7 or 8 permutations of emails. In this case, you have to put your cursor over it and select it from left to right and choose the system entity, system email. And you don't have to know what that means yet. Just do what you're seeing on the screen. Learning by doing. Instead of going over a bunch of theory, actually do it. Now click on the boxes on the left, make those required. Later you'll understand why. It's important to just get something on the scoreboard. So we're going to add in here, sweet, I'm happy to grab an Oompa for you. I'll need some contact info in case we get disconnected. So this is kind of a friendly way to get somebody to give you their name. And in case you have to repeat yourself, have another one in there just as a backup. They might not give their name, and the bot may have to repeat the request in a different way so it doesn't seem too robotic. And let's make sweet bold. Now for the second one, we're going to try to coax their email. So nice to meet you, $. So you select person. When you put $, it automatically creates a drop down. You're going to select that person entity, and it's going to replace it with their name. You'll see. What email address can I send updates to? And then again, an alternate. Okay, moving down, this is a really complex intent. We're going to create a Google Assistant response type. This time we're going to use a simple response. And this comes up once the person enters their name and email. So now we can say thank you, $person. I've notified our Oompa Loompa team, and it's going to pull their name, and it's going to personalize. It's going to be a nice personal touch. And you can imagine this is just the tip of the iceberg in terms of how you can personalize and bring back names for returning users and carry it forward into different parts of the conversation. But this is just learning to crawl before you can run. Now, it could take a few minutes. You've seen this before. You should recognize this from the UX that we looked at first. This is how you build it. And last but not least, the suggestion chips. So this is, they can say yes or they can say no. And obviously those suggestion chips need to link somewhere. So let's do that. Let's create add follow-up intent to the intent live agent and select yes to create a follow-up intent. See that little arrow pointing down? So that's a subset of live agent. That's a live agent yes intent. Because they're saying, yes, I'll take an email later. So now we have to build out that intent. The contexts are already in there. You don't have to worry about that. But put in verbatim the thing that they clicked just to make sure that's in there. And then there's all the other yes synonyms that Google provides in that yes follow-up intent. Simple response, if they select yes, we'll say perfect. And you remember this again from the UX I showed you. Now we have to create a follow-up intent for no. Nah, I'll wait. You're going to be waiting a long time because we haven't programmed a live chat handoff yet. Although we can do that in one of the breakout rooms. I've kind of stopped narrating every single training phrase because I think you get it now. Understood. Someone will be with you shortly. So now we're going to have a thanks intent, just kind of putting on the finishing touches. If a user says thank you and your bot doesn't have a you're welcome handy, that's not a good look. Low hanging fruit. Same goes for goodbye. These are just pleasantries, kindergarten manners. Goodbye and have a great day. And we're going to toggle this on, set this intent as an end of conversation. A goodbye is a pretty strong candidate for an end of a conversation. What you'll see is that's how you trigger the Botcopy customer satisfaction flow. So if somebody says bye, it's the end of the conversation, and then Botcopy knows to say thumbs up, thumbs down, comments, how'd you like what just happened? Of course, there are a lot of ways to get that data. That's just one way that's within Botcopy. It's sort of like an at a glance to see how you're doing, how you're being received. Meanwhile, the flow worked, as you just saw on the screen, all the way through the end. Amazing. In terms of getting data, how people are using your bot and what people think of your bot, what intents they like and don't like, what's working, what's not, you can check that out in the analytics breakout room. Also, a menu is a pretty important thing to have. Sometimes someone might get lost in a flow and they just want to go back to the main menu. So let's build that out, and let's do that with a new component that we haven't looked at yet called a list. Now, a list is different than suggestion chips in that it's persistent. So once a user selects something from the list stays up, so they can always scroll back up in the chat and select another thing, which you'll see. But for this list, you have a main menu at the top, and then just adding for the required fields only right now. If you want to add emojis, Emojipedia is a great source. And of course, Dialogflow and Botcopy support those, and it just kind of can add a little bit of color and tone. So there's your list. And on the list, somebody clicked products, and there you have it. You might be thinking, your bot doesn't know everything. What if it gets stumped? Well, here's an example of what it looks like when it gets stumped. It went to an intent that we didn't even plan on showing anyone. It's just some ghost intent floating around. It caused a fallback because we didn't remember to do a intent for FAQ hours. So let's create an FAQ hours. What hours are you open? Which reminds me, we need to create a default fallback intent. That's when something somebody said isn't understood by the bot. Either it's a random question that really they shouldn't be asking, or it's something that you planned on answering, but you just didn't make your bot tight enough. So here's how we make a default fallback. Sorry, I don't understand. You may want to chat with an Oompa Loompa or select another topic. It's reasonable. And then put some suggestion chips so there's a way out. So let's see what happens now if you type something the bot doesn't understand. Well, first let's check hours. That's looking good. Let's say where are you located? And it worked. There's the default fallback response followed by some helpful suggestion chips. So listen, congratulations. You've come to the end of the workshop. Amazing job. We didn't cover everything. Bot prompts, for instance, page-specific prompts that pop up. Grab the snippet from your Connect page by clicking on it. Then go over to CodePen and paste it into the left field there under HTML. You can name the bot whatever you want. It's a free account. Just click enter and your bot will pop up down there. This will be handy when you go to the breakout rooms. So that's it. So see you in the breakout rooms. And where's that the end sequence when you need it?